Gucci, one of the most iconic luxury fashion brands in the world. But behind the double G logo lies a twisted tale of ambition, family feuds, betrayal, and even murder. In today's video, we're diving deep into the dramatic rise, fall, and transformation of the Gucci family and the brand they built. From humble beginnings to global powerhouse, and from family empire to bitter collapse, this is the real story behind the House of Gucci. To understand the global powerhouse that Gucci is today, we have to start from the very beginning, with the man behind the name, Guccio Gucci. Born in 1881 in Florence, Italy, Guccio was raised in a modest household. His father was a leather craftsman, and Guccio's life would soon circle back to his roots in leather. As a young man, Guccio left Italy and moved to London, where he worked as a bellhop, helping guests with luggage and other smaller services at the Savoy Hotel, one of the most luxurious hotels in Europe at the time. There, he brushed shoulders with British aristocrats, Hollywood celebrities, and international businessmen. But it wasn't the glamour or gossip that captured his attention. It was their luggage. Guccio was fascinated by the finely made travel trunks and leather suitcases he saw guests arriving with, many crafted by established names like Louis Vuitton or H.J. Cave & Sons. Inspired, Guccio returned to Florence in the early 1900s and decided to use his new passion to build out his family's legacy. After years of honing his craft and understanding the tastes of the wealthy elite, in 1921, he founded the House of Gucci in Florence as a small family-owned leather shop. At the time, Italy was emerging from the First World War. Guccio's shop catered to wealthy Florentines and European tourists, offering high-end leather bags, luggage, saddles, and equestrian gear. Gucci trained local artisans to follow meticulous techniques and chose the finest Tuscan leathers. His shop quickly earned a reputation for exceptional craftsmanship and elegant design. On the insistence of his son Aldo, Guccio opened up a second store in Rome in 1938, and his sons joined the business. Guccio gradually expanded his product line to include handbags, belts, wallets, and other personal accessories. When the League of Nations imposed restrictions on fascist Italy, leading to leather shortages, Guccio responded creatively, developing hemp fabric and creating designs with diamond patterns and interlocking symbols to maintain elegance even in scarcity. In 1947, 2 years after World War II ended, Guccio launched a product that became his real breakthrough, the bamboo handle handbag. Due to post-war leather shortages, he turned to burnt cane bamboo, heated and curved by hand. It was innovative, exotic, and chic, and it set Gucci apart in a struggling post-war Europe. By the late 1940s, Guccio's reputation had expanded well beyond Florence. There was now a Gucci store in Milan, the Italian capital of fashion. However, Guccio wanted to keep the family business small, and for the majority of his life, he didn't expand outside of Italy. When Guccio Gucci passed away in 1953, just 2 weeks after the company opened its first store in New York City, he left behind not just a leather goods store, but a budding fashion empire. But what happened next would define Gucci's golden age, and at the same time, plant the seeds of its darkest chapter. After Guccio's death in 1953, control of the company passed to his sons, Aldo, Rodolfo, Vasco, and Ugo. Each played a role in expanding Gucci, but it was Aldo who took on the mantle of international expansion with unmatched ambition. Aldo Gucci, born in 1905, had a deep understanding of branding and marketing. He saw the growing post-war appetite for luxury, especially in the United States, and seized the moment. With his brothers, Aldo opened the first store in New York City, and received recognition from JFK for being the first Italian ambassador to fashion. By the mid-1950s, Gucci stores popped up in London, Paris, and Beverly Hills. American celebrities like Grace Kelly, Audrey Hepburn, and Frank Sinatra were spotted with Gucci products, catapulting the brand to pop culture fame. In 1961, Jacqueline Kennedy was photographed with a Gucci shoulder bag, and it quickly became a fashion must-have. That bag was later renamed the Jackie. Gucci was also a pioneer in its product innovation. In 1953, they released the horse-bit loafer, merging equestrian motifs with casual luxury. The shoe was elegant yet functional, a status symbol that could be worn every day. It became so iconic that a pair is now displayed at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. Under the leadership of the brothers, particularly Aldo, Gucci continued to evolve. The GG monogram, referencing Guccio Gucci's initials, was introduced and incorporated across bags, scarves, and accessories. But while Gucci soared publicly as a company, the business was privately anything but harmonious. The Gucci brothers ran the company more like a feudal kingdom than a modern business. Rivalries, jealousy, and a lack of centralized control defined their interactions. One major challenge was that their father had never decided on a clear succession plan for his sons. As a result, tensions over profits and direction increased. After Vasco died in 1974, Aldo and Rodolfo split the company 50-50. Aldo took charge of international affairs and operations, while Rodolfo, a former actor, stayed in Milan, handling the Italian stores and Gucci's image. Rodolfo often accused Aldo of prioritizing profits over prestige, while Aldo viewed Rodolfo as weak and uninvolved. Despite their friction, Gucci continued to grow. By the mid-1970s, the company was generating over $100 million in annual revenue and expanded into perfumes, watches, and home goods, and was a favorite among royalty and Hollywood alike. In 1973, Gucci even partnered with American Motors Corporation, AMC, to produce the Gucci AMC Hornet, a special edition car with Gucci interiors. It was bold, bizarre, and proof that the brand was everywhere. By the end of the 1970s, however, Gucci was falling victim to its own successes. It was generating massive revenue, but the brand identity was weakening, and family tensions were reaching a boiling point. What began as a proud Italian family enterprise was turning into a toxic battleground. And what happened next, betrayal, backstabbing, and boardroom warfare, would change the course of the Gucci legacy forever. In 1983, Rodolfo Gucci died, leaving his 50% stake in the company to his only son, Maurizio Gucci. Young and ambitious, Maurizio immediately launched a power struggle against his uncle Aldo and his cousins for control of the brand. After Aldo's son Paolo tried to launch his own business under the name Gucci without his father's permission, Aldo sued his own son. In response, Paolo allied with his cousin Maurizio and ousted Aldo from the board by 1984, with help from Investcorp, a Bahraini investment firm. In retaliation, Aldo reported Maurizio to the Italian authorities, accusing him of tax evasion. Maurizio fled to Switzerland to avoid arrest, and although he was eventually acquitted, the family was in complete disarray. Meanwhile, Gucci's reputation as a brand was declining with luxury-oriented consumers. The once exclusive brand had become over-licensed. Perfumes, watches, and accessories were slapped with the GG logo and sold en masse. The luxury image was fading, and profits were plunging. In 1989, Investcorp bought a majority stake in Gucci, and by 1993, Maurizio was forced to sell his remaining shares. For the first time since 1921, the Gucci family no longer had any control over the company. But the drama didn't end there. In 1995, Maurizio Gucci was gunned down and died on the steps of his Milan office. The murder sent shockwaves through Italy. 2 years later, his ex-wife Patrizia Reggiani was arrested and charged with orchestrating the murder. She had hired a hitman out of jealousy, resentment, and fear of losing her lifestyle. Patrizia was sentenced to 29 years in prison, serving 18. The trial became international news, feeding the tabloids for years. It was the ultimate fashion tragedy, the heir to a fashion empire murdered in revenge by his wife. Though the family legacy ended in tragedy, the Gucci brand itself made a stunning comeback under its new owners. In the late 1990s, Gucci hired American designer Tom Ford as creative director. His sleek, provocative designs reinvigorated the brand, bringing in younger consumers. Under Ford and CEO Domenico De Sole, Gucci's brand soared. By 1999, Gucci was valued at over $4 billion, eventually becoming a crown jewel of the French luxury group Kering, owned by François-Henri Pinault. From 2002 to 2022, Alessandro Michele took over as creative director, transforming Gucci again. By 2020, Gucci was pulling in over $10 billion a year. As for the family, Patrizia Reggiani was released from prison in 2016. She's given multiple interviews, still calling herself the Gucci widow, despite not being allowed to use the name Gucci anymore. The remaining heirs are no longer involved in fashion. The House of Gucci lives on, but as a corporate empire, not a family legacy. There's a story behind every great company and its founders. And if you want to learn more about another rags to riches story, this time about one of the most influential people on tariffs and the economy right now in the Trump administration, be sure to check out this video here from my sister Ava on Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Drop a comment below. Which company and/or entrepreneur should we dive into next? And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.